St. Lucia lawmakers are pushing to strengthen regional justice with the Caricom arrest warrant treaty bill, a measure that would establish a system for the arrest and surrender of wanted persons across the Caribbean community. Crime Prevention Minister and former police officer Jeremiah Norbert expressed strong support for the legislation.
Just because there are gaps in our systems, and the transnational nature of crime can make it very difficult to curb this entire crime situation. What this Caricom arrest warrant bill intends to do is to close some of these gaps. It does so by establishing a single unified legal framework for the arrest and surrender of fugitives across Caricom. With one warrant recognized by all member states, we remove the safe havens and the needless delays.
A recent wave of violence in Castries, including 2 deaths and multiple injuries in separate shootings, has intensified calls to tighten laws on crime, firearms, and gangs. Norbert praised decisive action against emboldened criminals and urged the judiciary to work in step with legislative and executive efforts.
Too often we see the police rearrest individuals who are already on bail for firearm offenses, only to see them reoffend within days or weeks, and most times even more serious offenses like murder. And as we speak, we are grappling with instances of this nature in St. Lucia right now. And I've said it before, it is demotivating for a policeman to leave his family at home, put his life at risk, to go out there, pursue criminals, arrest them. And I don't know, Mr. Speaker, I won't point fingers. I'm being very careful because the Attorney General is here, so I'm very careful who I point my fingers at. But I think it's very unfair that when the police put in all that hard work, I don't know if it is on the part of the prosecution or if it is on the part of the judiciary, that we see individuals who are caught with firearms or ammunition. Within 2 or 3 days of them being arrested, we see them back in the streets.
Norbert warned that loopholes in the justice system, including quickly paid bail for serious offenses, continue to undermine law enforcement.
And I don't think that we are sending the right message. And when we, as parliamentarians, when we, as an executive, come to the House to make an amendment to the Firearms Act, Mr. Speaker, it is not to dictate to the judiciary how to do their work, but it should signal the intention of the people. Because when we come here, it is not, we don't just wake up on a morning and decide that we're going to give or make firearm penalties stiffer. That is after consultation, that is after discussion, that is after getting pressure from those men and women, those young people whom we represent. We make a decision and a determination to come to the House and to make amendments. And those individuals who have the responsibility to administer the laws, as I said, we will not tell them how to do their work, but the signal that is out there is not the best one.
The minister questioned whether lax law enforcement and weak implementation were undermining the efforts of legislators and police. Norbert is calling on all branches of the criminal justice system to operate effectively to restore peace and curb rising criminality.
You can give the police all the resources that you give them. You can give them everything under the sun. If after they do the hard work, part of the reward is not always monetary. The reward is seeing value in the work that you do by ensuring that sometimes you're able to, I know it is not the police job to secure conviction, but if you do the hard work, if you cross your T's and you dot your I's, you expect there's an anticipated result in the end. So, having said that, Mr. Speaker, I'm hoping that moving forward, Mr. Speaker, we can see the laws being administered in a way that signals the intention of the executive.
Norbert warned that without coordinated action across all branches of the criminal justice system, efforts to restore peace and hold criminals accountable will continue to fall short. Lucia Alfred, HDS News Force.